You need personal reasons to step away. There's nothing wrong with that.
Stephen A. Smith last year. Stephen A. Smith this year.
Year $248 million max because you don't deserve it, because you don't show up to work. Now, we're not talking about Kyrie Irving not working hard, not being in condition, not working out on his own. We're talking about a guy who wants to do what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it, wants to shun authority while asking for money from other people.
Now, while this video is in support of Kyrie, I do think he deserves some blame, but not all of it.
I feel that Kyrie Irving ruined the franchise. I feel that all of this is his doing. If Kyrie Irving had shown up to work, if he had been a more consistent presence, then he'd still be in Brooklyn. KD would still want to be in Brooklyn. They probably might have won a championship.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. But even with Kyrie in and out the lineup, and I know that's not an ideal situation, they still could have competed for a championship. Am I right or wrong? You have James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. You make it work. Plus the mandate would have been lifted. And that's might have been the best thing for you, looking at Kyrie Irving's injury history. So I agree with what you're saying. But at the same time, if Kevin Durant and James Harden signed off on Kyrie not being able to play, and they're like, yeah, you can send him home if he's not going to get the, you know what? Then that's on them too. Like, how could you think you're better without him? It led to Kevin Durant getting hurt and James Harden wanting out. But I don't understand why y'all never bring that up when y'all talk about this. You just put it all on Kyrie. While his decision played the part, this is not all on him.
Wasn't it you that was off for 10 months, came back after a 10-month hiatus, played for 2 weeks, and said because of the riots at the U.S. Capitol that you needed a break because there were things more important than basketball? In 3.
Okay, you know that's not true, but you've really pushed this. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's see why Kyrie Irving really missed time. And you know this.
Can you shed some light on what the last couple of weeks have been like for you and the time you needed off?
There's a lot of family and personal stuff going on, so just want to leave it at that.
Okay, those are words from the horse's mouth. I don't know about y'all. I'm going with his word. I know y'all feel some type of way about him. I know he's kind of quirky and stuff, but come on now. This is what they're running with. This has to be where they got it from. The reports. Because, like you said, Irving has not made any public comments, but his former high school coach believes that he's genuinely upset. And he says out his own mouth, I have not spoken to Kyrie. And yet this has been the narrative all year.
3 years ago, when we looked at these brothers together, and we fantasized about what they were going to bring, even though the first year was going to be without KD because he was recovering from the Achilles tear in the finals against Toronto. Kyrie only played 20 games that year. Didn't want to play in the bubble. Tried to discourage other people from playing in the bubble.
Now that is true. But let's add context, Stephen A. What was going on in the world at that time in 2020? Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. That was the height of all that, right? There were more important things going on than basketball. And that's a fact. And that's what he was trying to get at. And he also wasn't the only one that didn't want to play and felt like they shouldn't be playing at that time. But you never bring that up when you talk about this.
Comes back after a 10-month layoff on December 22nd, to be exact, and then needed time off because of the riots at the U.S. Capitol.
Fine again.
There's always something. If you are an owner, and this brother who is spectacular and box office and what have you is unavailable, and then he comes and he's a part-time player before the New York City mandate was ultimately lifted, and then he became a full-time player. How do you think an owner felt watching the players hug him and, treating him like he's a hero. You're like, oh, that's how y'all doing this? So it's all right for him to miss these games. It's all right for him to miss these games and to still get paid. No, it ain't. They're coming.
Nobody said he was a hero, Stephen A. They were showing support to one of their brothers of the league who was being scrutinized by the media, by people like yourself, who influenced the masses, which led to him being scrutinized by people on social media. He was stripped the privilege to play basketball unless he compromised his morals, and he was losing money on top of that. That's what that situation was. If you want to use anybody for your CBA example, please use Ben Simmons. Use Ben Simmons. Stop using Kyrie, please.
So I took the liberty of looking at the Nets schedule here, not to set their record ever. How many games was played this last season? Wasn't that 82? Mm-hmm. How many games was played last year? Wasn't that 82?
No.
How many games were played the year before that when the season was halted because of the pandemic? Didn't that end up being 72 games?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving has played 20, 54, and 29 games. That means Kyrie Irving missed 52 games the first year, albeit due to injury.
You finally add that context after saying in so many other clips he just played 20 games his first year. This is the first time you said he had an injury his first year in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. He missed 28 games last season.
He didn't miss 28 games last season. He missed 18 games last season. You just say that you looked up the information. So did you look it up and purposely tell the information, tell the public a lie? Or did you just misread something? I know it's just 10 more games, 18 versus 28, but it makes it look worse than what it is. It makes it look like he missed damn near 30 games versus almost 20. It just looks worse. And you say you looked it up.
I would never give him a long-term contract again. He cannot be trusted. You pay him 1 year at a time. I don't care how much money he gets, but you give it to him 1 year at a time. You know why? Because you got to make sure he's going to show up to work. This man has played more than 11 seasons in this NBA. He has played over 60 games 4 times in his 82 games in the season. He is one of the absolute professionals at missing work. I'm not giving him a long-term deal. You got to be crazy.
So he's not far off from people like Derrick Rose and Kawhi Leonard. You say he played 60 games plus games 4 times. They've only done it 5. And if there wasn't a lockout Kyrie's rookie season, he'd be in the same boat as them. 5 seasons of 60 plus games. Derrick Rose himself took a break from basketball. And he also left before a game without telling anybody. He doesn't get hate for that. Kawhi Leonard came into the league the same year as Kyrie Irving. Even if you take away the games Kyrie Irving played this year, he still played more career games than Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was medically cleared by the Spurs and didn't play. And I never heard you talk about him the way you talk about Kyrie. You've really exaggerated this break that he took. Like y'all say he will play a week and you don't know if he's gonna play a couple games and need a week off or need a day off. Kyrie played every single game this year that the Nets let him play. He played all 29 games. Kyrie hasn't took time off since. He hasn't took a game off since, I believe it's April of 2021. Let's look. Kyrie Irving personal time off. And people swear up and down, oh, he was missing games before then. When? Please tell me this is the most recent that I've seen Kyrie Irving miss. April 11th, 2011. I'm not counting him not getting the jab as missing his personal time off. They didn't let him play.
pretty interesting in watching when you take a break from everything. There's just so many assumptions about what's going on. And so many people feel like they know me best. They have no idea who I am, nor what I'm about, nor what I stand for, or even attempt to take the time, or even for me to invite them to take the time. So it's a two-way street. And when things become overwhelming in life, you just got to take a step back and realize what's important. And I love to play. It's never been questioned. I've committed myself, when this wasn't even a thing for me. With everything going on in the world, politically, socially, like I said, it's hard to ignore. I want to make changes daily. There are so many oppressed communities, so many things going on that are bigger than just a ball going in the rim.
Kyrie Irving, where the hell have you been? I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure America would agree with me when I say this. There's nothing that he said there that anybody should have a problem with.
And as far as that, that's the last time Kyrie has said there are more important things than basketball. Stop saying that like he's just around here parading like, there are more important things than basketball. He hasn't said that since like early 2021. That's the last time he said that.
Mental issues are a very, very serious thing. Mental health issues. You need personal reasons to step away. There's nothing wrong with that. Why didn't you say so? What was the problem? There was absolutely positively nothing wrong with what Kyrie Irving just said. There was nothing wrong with what he just explained. The problem is you didn't think anybody was worthy of an explanation. The Brooklyn Nets didn't know what was going on for days at a time. Some of your teammates didn't know.
I thought he told his teammates first. I remember seeing reports on that. Yeah, he's wrong for not telling his employers and telling his coach, but I'm pretty sure he told Durant and like the main guys on that team first.
The public didn't know.
It's not our business.
You're getting paid an exorbitant amount of dollars to play a game you swear you loved. You didn't tell anybody. Kyrie.
Like you got to thinking just because you're a part of the media, like your old information, whatever that situation that was going on, that's between Kyrie and the Nets. It has nothing to do with us, the public. They did not have to disclose that information.
No disrespect. But most people in this world, not me, not your teammates, not the organization, not folks in the NBA, but most people in the world don't care about your problems.
Then why does he need to tell them? Just keep it internal, like I just said. There's no point.
But if you take him outside of those 3 years with LeBron, look at what they were before LeBron came back and Kyrie was all by himself.
Why do y'all do this, man? That man was the best team player on that team as a rookie. And if your rookie is the best player, your team is trash, you have no success. And you shouldn't have expectations for that player until he gets help. Unless you have like Michael Jordan, somebody coming through the door averaging like 28 their rookie year. And Kyrie was nicked up his first couple years, man. He was the best player. So if he's not out there, they don't have a shot to win. Now, it would have been interesting to see if he got a chance to play with Andrew Wiggins and LeBron never came back. I know he wouldn't want to chip, but man, maybe things would have been different. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Like, give me your opinion. Do y'all agree? Do y'all agree with Stephen A? Do you think I'm wrong? All opinions. I'm open to all feedback. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Peace.